And this Tuesday night party continues. The bar is open. We're going to have some fun all over again. Welcome in to Beyond Ringside, Back to Basics, where everything is on the table and nothing is off the record. 20 minutes before the top of the 10 o'clock hour in the Central Time Zone on this 26th day of May, 2015. Live from Studio 1, the Magic City Motor Mouth, Fast Eddie Layne, being joined from Bohemian Grove, the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis.
How's everyone doing this evening? Back to Basics. I'm so glad to be back, especially after GCW Radio. An amazing interview tonight. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. Buy the ticket, take the ride.
And I will go ahead and say, ladies and gentlemen, tag team partner from Bohemian Grove, Angie Travis, how you doing?
I'm great and wonderful.
And ladies and gentlemen, from anywhere he damn well pleases. Why? Because he can. He is the GCW Heavyweight Champion, AJ Steele. Good evening, sir. What's going on?
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. I just got finished eating 6 midgets, getting all the protein, getting ready for Saturday.
For those who joined us earlier in the evening for GCW Radio, we're kind of doing an extension, so to speak. They're kind of like meshing together because we've got a huge event coming up in the state of Alabama. Wrestling fans around the southeastern U.S., you are not going to want to miss this. This is a must-see event. Global Championship Wrestling presents Global Warfare 2015 this Saturday night, May 30th in Pell City, Alabama at the Pell City Civic Center. Bell time is 7:30 p.m. How much are tickets, Wick?
$10.
1.7 seconds. He was almost there. And we extended the invitation for Robert Cosper and Mad Dog Dan Sawyer to hang with us into this part of the broadcast. Because, okay, look, I'm just going to go ahead and pull the curtain back. I am the owner, I am the founder, I am the general manager and the program director of Beyond Ringside Sports Radio. But by the same token, I'm also the commissioner and part of the announce team and part of the front office of Global Championship Wrestling. It's rare when, and I'll use this phrase, here we go, it's rare when I genuinely cross the streams. Because I've always said, GCW business is GCW business. Beyond Ringside business is Beyond Ringside business. But when it comes down to it, on a show of this magnitude, especially with the main event in play on this one, where there are so many, here's the phrase again, combustible elements in play. So many things that are going on in one match, 12-man cage elimination warfare match. That's why I've decided it does involve the Beyond Ringside family of shows this time, whether it be Beyond Ringside Live or the to-be-determined show, what used to be known as Cause and Effect. It does involve all of us on this one. There is, and you may have heard us hurtling one-liners in a semi-comedic manner, but in this particular realm, there's so much bad blood here. Even the American Red Cross would throw up their hands and say, I got nothing to do with that. Plain and simple. And this Saturday night, the volcano will erupt. The San Andreas Fault or the Tennessee Valley Fault will rupture. The tsunami will crash. The sun will go nova. How many more similes do you want? I got 100 of them ready to roll. But I'm just going to go and lay this out there like this. AJ, we had an opportunity to speak a couple of weeks ago on the To Be Determined show. And you were very candid and very clear in your thoughts toward the formation of what has now been nicknamed as the PTB Foundation, the powers that be in the foundation of professional wrestling coming together for this cage match. For those who missed that interview, kid gloves are off. Hashtag hell damn ass. Let everybody know exactly where you stand going into this match.
Well, it's kind of like you hit the nail on the head with everything that you just said, because I think this is probably the most personal of all global warfares that we've ever involved ourselves in, because of the way everybody was sort of intertwined. If you go back a year ago and look at how things have changed in a year, it's kind of crazy to see how personal everything is. Clearly, my tag team partners a year ago were the same people who I will be on the other side of the ring against this time. So, and I know you guys keep up with what goes on, and with me and Frankie, how things got really personal and how things got extremely nasty at other different promotions, that it's to me is only fueling what's going to happen on Saturday night. Frankie and the Simon and that whole crew probably gave me the beating of my life. I mean, I've been hurt and I've been left laying before, but I've never been left laying in a puddle of my own blood as beat up as I was at the show that happened at. I don't know if I'm not going to mention it, but it is what it is. And it became extremely personal when he aligned himself with Mad Dog, who is somebody who I've had issues with the entire time that I've been at GCW. And just like I told you last time, I have never trusted Mad Dog. I have never trusted Micah Taylor. I was telling people who they really were, but at the time, nobody seemed to believe me. Things have changed, and the only thing that I see is more fire, more gas being added to this fire. And for us to have, last time I believe it was 8 men, this time it's 12. That's
right.
Another issue that has been huge in this match. I mean, putting 12 guys inside of a cage, somebody's going to get hurt, and somebody's going to get hurt bad. And because, like I said, this is one of the most personal situations that I've ever been involved in. And Dan Sawyer can do all of the Richard Simmons workout that he wants to do, but I promise you, and I told you last time, I'm going to do something, and I'm taking people out, and I put my word on it.
Well, let me go ahead and throw this one at you, because before the powers that be came into play, you had wars. I'm not talking about hard-fought matches. I'm not talking about instant classics. What I am speaking of is you and Micah Taylor having genuine, certified wars. I've made the statements, when the two of you get in a ring and the two of you start exchanging haymakers, they normally register around 4.5 on a Richter scale because they come across that snug, that hard, that stiff. Basically, bombs are being thrown. And now that things have occurred the way they have, with Micah and Mad Dog forming the powers that be, including the member of the 5-Star Fight Club, Mr. O'Hagan, and now teaming up with your former allies in the Foundation of Professional Wrestling, Francisco Chiazzo, Simon Says, and Mike Cruz. How much deeper does that bad blood run?
That's exactly what I mean. Like, I can't even begin to tell you. If you had said this to me last year, that this was going to happen this year, I'd have called you a liar. And for me and Frankie and Mike and Simon, for us to be as tight knit as we were, what all we did, how we rolled, what we were all about, and for them to turn on me, and I think, to me personally, that was probably career suicide, because I don't go around making threats. I don't go around talking about stuff that I'm not going to do. If I tell a man that I'm going to get him, and I'm going to take him out, and I'm going to end his career, that's what I'm planning to do. Cage matches like this, global warfare, this is the type of stuff that ends careers. Like, Dylan Cook is on our team, and I'm afraid for him right now because he's got such a bright future. But he doesn't really know what he's getting himself into, especially since I know the type of people that we're dealing with. I know them firsthand because I rode with them for so long. I know what Frankie's willing to do. I know what Mike Cruz can do. Unfortunately, Simon and like you said, wars is an understatement between me and Micah Taylor. I know what these guys are capable of doing, and Dylan is so young and so innocent, and he's so full of fire and he's ready to go, but he just doesn't realize how serious this match is going to be. Like, this is possibly, it could possibly be this kid's last match. And, call me what you want. I have a heart. even though it pumps hydraulic fluid, I don't want to see anything happen to this kid. So therefore, I have a vested interest in Dylan Cook. I also have an interest in, yes, no man should step in the ring and want to lose a match, and I am not going to lose. This match this Saturday, we are not going to lose. I say I, but we are a collective unit. We may not see eye to eye. Me and Wicked may not see eye to eye. Me and Spiral definitely don't see eye to eye.
I was going to say.
We have a common goal, and that's for us to all leave global warfare with our hands held high.
That was one of the things that I wanted to bring up, because in previous incarnations, in previous situations, you have been in some, not only in Global Championship Wrestling, but all around the southeastern U.S., you have been in some serious wars with different organizations in different parts of the country. And I'm just going to go and lay it out there. I want to ask, everything else to the side, are you at 100% going into this Saturday night?
No. Health-wise?
Yes.
Are you asking?
Yes.
Are you asking health-wise?
I know you're focused.
No.
I can hear it in your voice, but I'm asking physically.
No.
And the reason why I say is because you went ahead and said the word no a second ago, because you are being as honest with me right now and with Wicked Nemesis as everybody else in this match has been. Because Mad Dog Dan Sawyer said he's been put through the ringer. Taylor has been coast to coast. O'Hagan, put through the ringer. Cruz, hurt. Says, hurt. Spiral, hurt. Saints, beat down, battered, but still standing tall. Bull, we've seen what happened to him recently. That man, he was busted open. And Cook, double-teamed and triple-teamed. I'm going to sit back and say this. There is nobody going into this match 100% physically.
No.
But as far as heart, professionalism, determination, damn right everybody's at 100%. Wick, come on in. We had him a second ago.
You know what?
There you are.
I mean, I really don't know what you've pretty much covered all the bases. We've talked about Dylan. What else do we talk? Do we want to talk about the X factor as I see it in Leon the Bull Stressor? AJ is ready. As I said earlier, you missed it, AJ. They were running down all the awards that they've had, all the titles. Like I said, we have AJ Steele. You are literally the general and the Hulk to this Avengers team. How do you feel going into this, knowing, as you said, you've been up and down the road, Francisco? Right now, you are in a pretty bitter feud at UIW against Dan Sawyer. And congratulations on the win against Dan.
Thank you.
I had to go out there. I saw that Kaz decided that he was going to get involved.
Yeah, we had a little bit of an assist on that there. So I appreciate that.
Oh, of course, sir. You know, I've always respected you. I consider you a friend. You're like blood to me. But speaking of blood, this Saturday, is there any way that anyone is going to walk out of this even close to 100%? Do you think that, as Daniel Day-Lewis would say, there will be blood?
It's so funny because I don't know if you guys remember, but hell, I feel like I still hurt from last year. I'm not 100%. I probably haven't been 100% for the last year, or maybe even more. But this is what we do. For those of us who are going to step into this cage, knowing that our careers are possibly on the line, every time we sign, agree, however these matches get made, every time we agree to step foot into a cage, everybody involved knows what the repercussions of these matches are. Everybody involved knows that this could be that one thing, as they say, that freak accident could happen, and you could your career is over. Everybody in this match is passionate about what we do, whether I like them or I don't like them. We're passionate about what we do, We love what we do. But we are damn sure going to go to war this Saturday night. And when it's time to go to war, you don't have time to hurt. You don't have time to have a sprained ankle. I still have a fracture in my ankle. You don't have time to have a fracture. You don't have time to have a headache. You don't have time to have a torn rotator cuff. You go to war. And Saturday night, Pell City, Alabama, this is the best war zone in the world because it seems like, number one, I'm pretty lucky in Pell City when it comes to going to war and it comes to cage match. So these guys, we have talked on the phone with each other. We're on the same page right now. The object is to get past Saturday night, completely destroy the opponents. And when I say destroy, I mean do whatever is necessary to get the win. They all know what I'm capable of doing. They all know that I'm willing to throw my body, that whole kamikaze, let's go. They all know that I'm willing to do whatever is necessary to win this match. And I feel as though Spiral is ready. Clyde and Spiral, in my opinion, are the two top names in this business that you're going to hear from. Those two guys are ready. And I'm not trying to shortchange anybody else, but this is my own personal opinion. If anybody doesn't like it, hey, after the match, they can see me out back. But the point is, Spiral is there. Clyde is there. Steven Styles is there. Wicked is there. I'm there. That crazy bitch Pandora is possibly there. Bull, Dylan, all these guys are passionate about what we do. And we're going to make sure that they know we're 10 times more passionate than they are. We're the heartbeat of this company. And we're ripping their hearts out come Saturday night.
I've got to throw this one in there because during GCW Radio earlier this evening, and once again, for everybody listening, thank you for tuning in. Beyond Ringside Sports Radio, Beyond Ringside Back to Basics on this 26th day of May 2015. We are 9:58 Central Time, 10:58 Eastern Time. Fast Eddie Layne, Wicked Nemesis, Angie Travis on the line right now with the GCW Heavyweight Champion, the man, AJ Steele. You know, they wanted to bring up comic books and cartoon characters a little while ago, and this one really just crossed my mind. I don't hold a dividing line between DC and Marvel. I like titles from both. But I'm going to go Marvel Universe for a second for one short idea. Because on this team that I have nicknamed the Spirit of GCW, the Spirit of Global Championship Wrestling, we've got Colossus and Juggernaut on the same damn team. And by Colossus, I do mean AJ Steele. And by the Juggernaut, I mean Clyde Braddock. I mean, you can be cute and put other little nicknames, but I'm just sitting back and I'm looking at it like this. I have watched AJ Steele inside of a ring, inside of a cage. And there is virtually no one who can go head and shoulders like a Colossus above the rest, like Mr. Steele can. And then to watch the grand design, the final solution of professional wrestling, Clyde Braddock, especially when spear time hits, he is a juggernaut. So for the Marvel comic book fans out there, I guarantee you, I'll look at it like this. The PTB Foundation, the powers that be in the foundation of professional wrestling, have got to realize. Now, I'm not selling anybody on this team short. I'm not selling anybody on either team short.
I am.
Because I understand, well, I can't because of the simple fact, number one, as commissioner of Global Championship Wrestling, I've been in the damn boardroom during negotiations with basically all 16 of you. Thanks for making my life a mortal effing hell at times. But the fact of the matter stands, whether I was dealing with the Foundation, whether I was dealing with the 5-Star Fight Club, the Sevenfold Saints, whether I was dealing, with the Underground, it doesn't matter. Because the fact of the matter stands right now. I'm looking at this match. 12 people. 12 entities forming 2 teams in one cage. All the cute little phrases have been thrown out. All the little amalgams and the acronyms and you name it, it's been done. All the similes and the homonyms and the synonyms and the antonyms. Go look it up in English 101, kids. Everything's been put on the table. You're talking about 12 individuals on 2 teams that are not afraid to be busted open and bleed. You're talking about 2 teams, 12 individuals that are not afraid to be hurt. They will go in with I'm not going to say a reckless abandon, but I'm going to say a focused determination for the utter annihilation of the person on the other side of the ring. And AJ, I've watched you for a while. I made the reference to you as Colossus a minute ago because there's times where I swear to God, you are not made out of flesh and bone. You are made out of pure titanium. Because of the fact that no matter how hard you get hit, no matter how many times you get hit, and this is something that I tried to impress upon Sawyer and Cosper during GCW Radio, you can hit all you want to. You can be hit as much as you can. It's not how many times you get hit and knocked down. It's how many times you get back up. And AJ, you keep getting right back up, sir.
You're right. You're right. And come Saturday, I got a smile on my face because I know exactly what I got up my sleeve. And the thing is like I said, in my opinion, the only my focus, my strategy, I'm taking out Micah Taylor, I'm taking out Dan Sawyer, and I'm taking out Francisco Chiazza. Those 3 people are on my radar. I'm going to let the rest of the squad deal with the rest of the trash that's in the ring. I'm so focused and so locked in. I'm like a Patriot missile. And I'm locked on those 3 boys. Because I've had history with both of them. All 3 of them. I've had hellacious wars with all 3 of them. But I can kill 3 birds in one match. So why not do it?
Wick, before we go to the top of the hour break, anything else you'd like to ask AJ?
AJ, anything you'd like to say to Francisco and to Dan and to Micah leading into this Saturday one last time?
I mean, like I said, Francisco and Dan and Micah, those guys all know me well. They've known me for years, up to 10 years for some of them. They know how passionate I am. They know how determined I am. They know how dedicated I am. They also probably know that I just left the gym 45 minutes ago. So they know that I will be prepared this Saturday night. The question that I have for them would be, are they prepared for what I'm bringing to global warfare?
Do me a favor, before we let you run, can people track you down on social media right now?
Absolutely. AJ.Steele1 on Instagram, and I'm still on Facebook. Everybody already follows me on Facebook, so I really appreciate you guys having me on the show. And I hope to say next Tuesday or Wednesday, we'll be on here drinking that virgin goat milk, celebrating.
Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only. And he is the GCW heavyweight champion.
Yeah.
How many championships have you held over the last few months, by the way? I know that.
Oh my God. Do you know? That's a great question. Real quick, like, I was the AWN heavyweight champion. I was the UIW heavyweight champion. SFCW heavyweight champion. GCW heavyweight champion. Hell, there's a promotion in Albany that I'm the heavyweight champion of, and they haven't had a show in a year, but I still got the title, so I'm the Albany State heavyweight champion. I can't help that people put me in a position. The fans put me in a position. Whether they loved me or hated me, the fans put me in a position to where I had the opportunity to battle for these titles. And if you are in front of me and you got a title, I'm going to beat you. I'm going to take your title, and I'm going to beat you up again. So, I mean, I'm grateful as hell for the success that I've had in the last 20 years, but for some strange reason, this last 2 years, sometimes they say when you get rid of excess baggage, things start to change. So I'm going to leave that out there.
Ladies and gentlemen, go ahead.
No, I'm done. I'm done talking. Saturday night, Pell City. I'm bringing truckloads of whoop ass. I hope everybody comes and checks it out.
Ladies and gentlemen, the man who's had more championship belts than Gorilla Grodd has active hair follicles.
He referenced the gorilla.
I had to get that one in there. Folks, hang with us.
Claude Braddock when you need him.
There you go. Folks.
Probably at the gym.
Back to Basics rolls on.
There you go.
Back to Basics rolls on right after this. Hang with us.
That's a rock and roll model, the hair metal heartthrob, your favorite wrestler, Matt Sexfells here, and you're locked in to Beyond Ringside Radio.
The To Be Determined show live Wednesday nights, 9 Central Standard Time. Join myself, the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis, the Grand Design, Clyde Braddock, and the Magic City Monroe, Fast Eddie Layne, as we take you to the edge of uncensored. Yes, we go uncensored, so make sure you have your earmuffs. Ask your parents, for those of you that are a little young, maybe under 18, but make sure if you have any heart conditions or any mental defects, please listen, because they may take effect right here, live, every Wednesday night, 9 Central Standard Time. Beyond Ringside Radio Network, beyondringside.com.
This is Merciless Ray Mercer, Olympic gold medalist and board member of Find the Dream, and you're locked into Beyond Ringside.
Hey, this is the voice, Ted Guinness, and I'm inviting you to tune in every Thursday night after Cause and Effect and after SmackDown goes off the air for The Show, the only show on Beyond Ringside dedicated to all things WWE, Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and your phone calls. That's The Show, every Thursday night after SmackDown goes off the air. We go live right here on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network and the Beyond Ringside app.
This is Danny Cage from the world famous Monster Factory, and you're locked in to Beyond Ringside.
Sunday nights at 11 p.m. Eastern here on BeyondRingside.com. Join us for the Midnight Black Mass. Myself, the Reverend Dan Wilson, brings you the dark gospel of professional wrestling, uncensored, unedited, uncut, and not for the faint of heart. You can find out more about us at youtube.com/pottyhumor or subscribe at Potty Humor on iTunes and Stitcher today.
This is a guided meditation on parenting.
And speaking of, I want to say a very special hello this evening to the seven-figure deal, Ace Rockwell. Longtime friend of the family and longtime friend of the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis, right, Wick?
Ace is amazing. Ace is so underrated. I miss Ace so much. Ace Rockwell, if you're listening, keep doing what you're doing and do it more. Ace was so instrumental, and God, I can't say enough about Ace Rockwell. The man not only is educated, his ring psychology, his matches, when you go back and watch Ace years from now, you will see what real old school psychology in a new school environment was all about.
Got a couple of things I want to run down real quick, if I could, please. On the calendar of events, number of things going on over the next few days, and I want to pick this one up because I know if I'd have said it during the previous show, it would have just been cannon fodder. Thank you, Andy Hudson. Thursday, May 28th in Memphis, Tennessee at the Moodland, Moodland, Hills Event Center, 7 o'clock p.m. It is Wildfire Wrestling. Somebody say something about, I was hoping, oh, come on. I was
Opportunity. I'm so disappointed in myself.
Oh, wow.
I really am. Anytime there's a Tommy Wildfire Rich reference, I usually have to do my.
Yeah, I know. I was waiting to see if one of y'all would get it before I had to.
Sorry.
That's Angie's very quick with that. She was not tonight. So I guess somebody say something about Fired Up.
There you go. Once again, that is Wildfire Wrestling in Moodland Hills Event Center in Memphis, Tennessee, Thursday, May 28th at 7 p.m. Also, Thursday, May 28th, All-Star Wrestling's. Oh, Lord, I'm going to get in trouble, and Daryl B is going to let me have it for this one. All-Star Wrestling. It is Butlines, so I'm going to say butt lines. I'm going to take the obvious one. In Skegness, over in the UK. I don't have a start time on that one, so let me go ahead and do this and click, and we should have it. The hell? Did you call the group call back, Wick?
I guess so.
Hang on a second. Do me a favor. Let me do this. Folks, we're going to go ahead and do this live, so bear with me for one hot second. So what I'm going to do is, we've had a situation with the Skype line come up, so I'm going to go ahead and I've got to go ahead and call Wick directly back on this one. So bear with me for one hot second. There we go. We're back live. And also, I know I'm probably going to get in I don't think I'm going to mess this one up. Thursday, May 28th, Welsh Wrestling at the Holiday Resort Unity in Bransands in the UK. I've got a lot of UK events coming up, and tell you what, I'm going to transfer this calendar over to facebook.com/Beyond Ringside Live and our Beyond Ringside Friends page. And I'm going to sneak a peek over at the chat room at br.com and see if Daryl B has actually called me out for mispronouncing something a second ago. He's in the chat room, and you know he's going to call me. He's going to tell me if I got it right or got it wrong. So
good.
Hey, look, I try to get it right, but I'm not a linguistics expert. Okay, I'm a linguini expert, but not a linguistic expert. You know, I'm looking at the overall situation. We're going to move away for just a second. And with Elimination Chamber this Sunday, exclusively on the $9.99 thing, which I don't know how they can boast having a high subscribership when they constantly are giving away months or giving away spans of time for their network. And I know they're trying to build up the numbers. They're trying to make it look good for the corporate side of life and corporate sponsors. But when it all comes down and everything is said and done, how much faith between me, you, and the 7 people listening right now, how much faith do you genuinely put in the WWE Network to make it one more year, Wick?
Well, first of all, do you have the numbers at what WWE stock sold at today?
Give me a second, I can look. Vamp.
Well, that's what it's all about when it comes to WWE. They are an internationally traded network, internationally traded stock. So it's all about making the money for the stockholders. So whatever they sold at today, whether it was plus or minus, they better go plus, because that's where the money is. It doesn't matter about the casual fan, although NXT is kicking ass and taking names, and thank you, Triple H, for that.
Angie, let me go and bring you in on that one. Or did we lose her?
Well, actually, she walked out. We are making burritos.
Making what?
Burritos.
Oh, that was us last night with fish tacos.
It's like Deadpool.
There you go. You know, and I'm still going to find a way to get back down to the theaters before Avengers is pulled out of there. That's all I'm going to say, because that movie has just been... I'm kind of torn right now because I have some free time late Thursday night, and I'm either going to go see Avengers one more time or catch the late premiere of San Andreas.
I've heard that Mad Max Fury Road was pretty damn good, so...
Okay. I'm looking over the chat room. Daryl B just made the comment. Let's see. Oh, it's bitter promoter speak. Thanks, Stan. No, it's not bitter promoter speak. Thanks for playing. I have a YouTube channel and I know how to use it. Daryl B made the comment. Glad Eddie said what I was thinking. Keep giving it away for free. I'm just, things can be so easily misconstrued. And by the way, I'm going to go ahead and do this live on air. Wick, do you mind if we open the door for Stan to come in for a hot second from Wrestle Rage Radio?
Are you kidding me? Stan Grubb is amazing. Stan Grubb always brings an alternate voice to anything we talk about. So by all means, Stan, if you can call in, please do. If you can Skype in. This is Back to Basics. This is not the To Be Determined show, which of course the door is always open for Stan as well. So of course not, sir.
Stan, you heard it. And I see you're on Skype. Go ahead and bring it on. Yeah. And I don't mean the cheerleader movie. Did I actually just say that in public? I really think I did. Oh, God. I've just been watching way too many commercials. That's all I can say. But Stan's actually going to load Skype, so he'll be here in just a minute. Stan also made the comment they're not worried about it surviving as far as the network goes. The more they give away, the longer they'll survive on the percentage of re-ups. And I've got to argue that point when he comes on board, because when it comes down...
Eddie, they closed at 13.79, up 29 cents, 2.15%. That was World Wrestling Entertainment Incorporated, and that was when the Dow closed at 4:02 Eastern Time today.
Not enough.
They have a dividend yield of 3.48%. That is amazing. That's why they're able to give it away, is because they have that big of a dividend yield.
See, and I'm not... Okay, let me say this. As there are two sides of me on this. Because as a wrestling fan for as long as I have been, and we discussed this on the Secret Origins episode of the To Be Determined show. Wrestling and I go back to my being in single-digit ages, and I'm 49 years of age. As far as being a fan goes. Like I said, first started training in... Oh, God, Methuselah. Started training in 84. Thanks to 2 car wrecks and injuries, I had my first match late 85. But the fact of the matter stands... I want the WWE Network to succeed. But as a businessman, I know how numbers can be manipulated. Because God knows I've done it before. You always find a way to accentuate the positive. The WWE Network has 1.4 million subscribers. And how many of those are free? That's the sad part of the whole scenario. Hang on, tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and do this the old-fashioned way. We're going to do it live on air just like we did a minute ago. And I'm going to see if we can get him on board, because I just saw the Skype line come on, and I hope he's got his headset ready to go. Joining us from Wrestle Rage Radio with Smart Rage and Stan, he's the intelligent half of the team.
We got that right.
Love you, Corey. Stan Grubb, what's up, buddy?
Hey, how's it going? Hey, listen, I got a headset. I'm not asleep at the wheel. What do you know?
That's a scary thought.
Yeah, it's crazy. So, okay, bitter promoter, please tell me.
I am not a bitter promoter, ding dong.
You are a bitter promoter.
No, I'm not.
You do the same thing on Sundays. The only reason that it works on Sundays, though, is because Corey's so quiet.
Corey, quiet? What the hell are you smoking?
He's asleep half the time. Either that or he's in a diabetic coma.
Yeah, no, he wanted to come on earlier tonight, too.
Oh, really? Because I'm sure he would have had a wonderful time, adding to Mad Dog Man Sawyer and the rest of them. Jeez.
Actually, I'll tell you the truth. Corey did say that he wanted to come to Global Warfare, but unfortunately, because of his real-life job, he was not able to make it over this weekend.
Well, that and the fact that he can't get past his front step without running out of breath. I got a real issue with the guy, man. I've been thinking about just letting him hear about it on Sunday, but we'll see. We'll see if he actually watches the pay-per-view this week.
Now, based on what we were talking about in the chat room, go ahead. Let it rip.
So, okay, I mean, I get what you're saying. I understand that your concern is that they're giving it away, but just like Wicked pointed out, and this is what you and I have gone back and forth on multiple times, I mean, the amount of money that they're making in their stocks, they could give it away for the next 6 months. And they'll still make a profit, because even if they retain 50% of the business, they're still increasing their customer base exponentially. So they're not losing.
Wick?
Yeah, their max out was 13.82%. Right now, it's at 13.79. So they're right at the highest that they have sold. They could give it away for 6 months to everyone for free, and still make a dividend, still make profit. Eddie, you can't inflate those numbers. This is Wolf of Wall Street.
You know what? If I could remember the way that song goes at the beginning with Matthew McConaughey, I'd be doing that for you, buddy.
Oh, and for the record, Daryl B said that Smart Rage will be probably playing with his Cena bear right now.
In all kinds of not so PG rated ways.
No kidding. Not going to go there. No, let's put the world in proper perspective. Like I said, I want the network to succeed. I wanted WWE Classics on demand.
Time out.
Okay.
I gotta wave the BS flag. You want the network to succeed. And how do you figure that anybody within the sound of our voices is going to believe that? I believe that as much as I believe that Robert Cosper has any chance of winning in a fist fight with Wicked Nemesis.
Yeah, there's no chance on that one.
Yeah, exactly. By the way, Dan Sawyer, if you want to come on over to the house, you have to bring beer. You can hit me as much as you want, but you've got to keep giving me beer.
Like that. Thank you. Let's put this in proper perspective. As a wrestling fan, like I've said, I'm 49, and me and wrestling go back to single-digit ages. I want there to be a viable venue for not only myself, but like-minded wrestling fans to be able to watch various things at various times. That's why the network on demand, WWE Network, is a beautiful thing. Because you don't have to watch what they're showing on the direct feed. You can pick something else. You can go back to the classic WCW pay-per-views or ECW pay-per-views or WWEF pay-per-views or EIO pay-per-views. I don't care. But the fact of the matter stands. And a lot for WWE hinges on this network. Because remember, we're talking about a company that was being traded at $23, $24 a share not more than 16 months ago.
And we've also had this conversation where that was a spike just basically thanks to WrestleMania 30, probably the biggest event they've had in almost a decade. So of course they're going to see their stock prices go up and down. It's called a spike. It's how it happens in business.
But the fact of the matter stands, from my perspective, is that the numbers that they're offering for the subscribership on the network include freebies, which logistically, for the sake of business, you can't do.
No, you can't do. And TNA can't do.
I have a conscience.
Vince McMahon can do it.
He has no conscience.
What do you mean? What does conscience have to do with anything? This is just business.
Okay.
It's got nothing to do with conscience or morality. It's business.
You're right. When it comes to business, go ahead, Wick.
I said greed is good.
Gordon Gekko, Wall Street. You just threw one of my favorite quotes right back to me, and I thank you for that.
I mean, if it was like, if he was saying, hey, let's all show the rise and fall of Chris Benoit over and over again, or something like that, something crazy. That would make sense. I'd understand what you're saying. He doesn't have a conscience or something, but of course he's got a conscience. The only reason people get upset at WWE is because they can't compete, because their product sucks. Either they can't pay their people, they can't get a network to get behind them because the networks don't have enough faith in an unestablished product, or they don't have the distribution to survive.
Well, let me ask you this, Grubby. What do you think is going to go, or what do you think is going to happen with the stocks of WWE if this, what we've heard, which of course is allegedly,
right,
allegedly, we don't want to get sued, it's supposed to happen in September with TNA/Impact with Destination America. What do you think? Because I think that if this is true, you're looking at $30 and $40 a share easily for WWE.
Oh yeah, I mean it's difficult to argue with that type of success, and really what WWE has done is they've made it so that if you're attempting to compete with them, you better have a top-notch product or you're not going to survive. The only reason the ECW survived as long as they did was their product and the fact that Vince McMahon was in the background bankrolling. Now, as far as WCW, everybody attributes their failure to the inability to have one leader and everybody else follow. Nobody else could do it. Vince McMahon can. So when TNA supposedly goes off the air, at least for a short term, oh yeah, the stock prices will go up. Now, will they go up to... I don't know if they can get back up to $20 without a major spike. We'd have to see... Put it to you this way. We wouldn't need to see Attitude Era numbers, but we would have to see the rise of a new megastar. Maybe it's Kevin Owens, maybe it's somebody new. Who knows?
I think with what NXT is doing right now, with NXT putting on a better product than TNA, I think that we're going to see a steadily forward march that is WWE. And I think that stocks are going to continue to rise exponentially going into what may be the end of TNA in September. I hope it's not. But if it is, I think that NXT with Samoa Joe, with Kevin Owens / Kevin Steen, with Sami Zayn, with Neville doing so well on the quote-unquote main roster, the time is now.
It's a good point. I mean, when you look at what WWE has accomplished with just establishing a different brand, their own different brand, and the best success came out of it because they didn't have to use ECW's name or WCW or any other company. They used their own. Triple H knew how to create a brand. He's always had a good and intelligent method when it comes to understanding what works with business. And it just continues to grow for him. I think there's room in the wrestling world for another company, but it's going to take a special company that stands out. And Ring of Honor, unfortunately, hasn't been able to prove that they can do that. TNA, unfortunately, has fallen into the trap of... I think a lot of people fall into this trap. It's not just a TNA problem, but just believing their own hype for a while and then trying to reinvent the wheel. And it's not to say that they're not capable of providing a good show, because we know that their television product's been solid, but after years and years of not so solid delivery with either the major storyline or the television show itself, or even just some of the shenanigans that goes on backstage that we ultimately find out about because nobody knows how to keep their mouth shut, it becomes a problem of integrity and trust, and the fan base is fickle, especially with wrestling. And before we go too much further, I got to point out to you, buddy, on a totally off-the-topic note, but super proud of you for hopping in the ring there, and you totally got ripped off.
Well, thank you, sir. I did not expect Mad Dog to turn on me.
Well, I mean, it's Mad Dog.
Yeah.
You can only trust a dog for but so many times.
Well, I have warned people for years, and I should have took my own advice. But I think that match could have went on for another 20 minutes. I mean, you actually saw me get ready to do a scoop slam, and then, thanks, Mad Dog.
I mean,
Wait. Wick, come on. After everything that's been said, after everything that's been done, do you honestly believe that Mad Dog Dan Sawyer, even if money is concerned, can be trusted?
Eddie, I told him to go to the back that I could handle it. And he decided to stay at ringside. I was actually surprised to see him still there. When I tell you to go backstage, yeah, it was just for men. I told him to go to the back. I told him I had it. I told him 2 out of 3 falls. I knew Joshua Hagan. I know Josh. I don't trust Josh. I've never trusted Josh. But he decided to stick around, and now I know why he did. That's why he is not your UIW heavyweight champion.
Folks, do me a favor. Hang tight on the live side. 29 before the top of the hour. We are going to take a quick commercial break, and we're going to be back. Back to Basics rolls on right after this.
This is Larry Goodman, GWH News and Notes, and you're locked in to Beyond Ringside.
Setting ready for the home run round. Tuesday night, 10:35 p.m. Central Time, 11:35 Eastern, 8:35 on the West Coast. 26th day of May. Beyond Ringside Back to Basics rolls on live from Studio 1, Fast Eddie Layne. Welcome back. Welcome you back in live from Bohemian Grove. The Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis. What's up, Wick?
This Saturday, May 30th. For anyone listening, Pell City Civic Center, Global Warfare.
And live from Mid-Atlantic Heaven, Stan Grubb from Wrestle Rage Radio. What's up, brother?
What's up? You know, every time I think I'm out, you suck me back in.
There you go. That's how we managed to get both Kaz and Mad Dog to call in from the Gulf Coast tonight over on back to GCW Radio.
Dang. Good for them.
Have a feeling you may just hear Cause and Effect returning in the very near future. When? Not quite positive, but I know it's going to happen very soon. You know, with everything happening, there's so much going on, and I mean, I'm very realistic about it. I have said this for the national level, I have said this for the localized level. It is a great time to be a fan of professional wrestling because you have the so-called national powers, WWE, TNA, Ring of Honor, Lucha Underground, companies that have a national or somewhat national distribution, doing everything they can to put out a top-notch product. Then you've got NXT that's been blowing it out the chart over on the network. Unstoppable was a really good show. And I've said this before. Coming out of the last $9.99 per-view, which was actually still a pay-per-view, WWE Payback, the show was much better than I thought it was going to be because I went in without expectations. And I'm going to throw this to all three, and by three, I mean also live from Bohemian Grove, if she's with us on the line right now, Angie Travis. I'm going to throw this to you first if you're there, which I'm counting on Wick to say yes.
Yes.
Thank you. It doesn't matter if we're in the industry or in the business, drink, which I already have twice, or if we're fans of pro wrestling. In this day and age, right now, look at it, May 26, 2015. Our two-part question. Number one, are wrestling fans spoiled, especially those over the age of 25, which I know you're right on that border of it, 24 and a half.
Thank you.
No problem. Are wrestling fans spoiled in that regard as far as chronological age and what we've been able to see over the last last few years? And B, do we go into it with overly high expectations? Ange?
I don't know that I would say. Well, we're spoiled. My age group, right? That's what you said? Or the people...
All of the above.
I think my age group is spoiled as to what good wrestling is. You know, the whole sports entertainment thing just has screwed everything up in general for me. But I don't know. What was the second part?
High expectations.
I have high expectations, but look who I associate myself with.
There you go. And speaking of, Wick, both questions.
Well, I think that the wrestling fan base and wrestling in general has changed so much. When I was growing up, I thought everything was real, as most of us did. ECW was the catalyst of totally exposing everything and 15 finishers. And, you know, I mean, that is where everything changed, in my opinion. Now we have the entire landscape has changed. So, of course, fans are going to change as well. Are they spoiled? No. Are they fickle? Maybe. But you look at the product that has been presented, you know, in front of everyone, from the mainstream down. When you look at wrestling in general, when you look at the sport of the gods, as I say, it is something that was used to any finale, to anything in wrestling and fighting. Now you can go and watch it every Monday. You can watch it every Thursday. You can catch Impact on Fridays. You can go to it's everywhere. Now, we know a little bit about wrestling that people didn't know the generation before me. But fickle, maybe. Spoiled, no. And are the expectations too high? No, because I think everybody's waiting on the next quote-unquote attitude era. That's not going to happen. I think the closest thing we'll get to that is maybe Kevin Steen and what NXT is doing, because they do a lot of wrestling. And it's easy to mix in violence when there's more wrestling than anything, because then it becomes cognitive association into realizing, okay, well, all that may be fake, but that was real. No matter what, that was real. And you've got them right there, and that's what it's all about. It's all about the fans. It's all about the money that the stocks are making. So I think that maybe the expectations are set too high, maybe stock-wise, but in-ring-wise, definitely not. Not when it comes to fans.
Stan Grubb.
It's a good question. First half, I would tell you to ask Corey. He could tell you all about being spoiled as a wrestling fan. But
he's too much of an insider, so he doesn't count.
More than we know, apparently.
There you go.
Says Steve Platinum. I think that when you look at wrestling as a whole now versus just 5 years ago and 10 years ago, it's a fair assessment to say that wrestling fans are spoiled, but it's not because wrestling fans did anything. It's because the business created such a high-end product for so long that fans aren't used to, well, today's fan isn't used to what we see, if we can remember back just as recent as 2003 or 1994, when we had the downward trend of wrestling when it came to pop culture and WWF and WCW. And you had good matches here and there. You had your spotlight characters, but by and large, it was just tough to watch. That's what true fans have seen, so true fans know good from bad. The pop culture fan, like Corey, and I'm giving him such a hard time. God, I wish he was around so I could pick on him live. Anyway, the truth of the matter is, no matter what you do and how you do it, there's always going to be somebody that's not happy with it. And you can please the Meltzerites some of the time, and you can please the everyday fan the other half of the time. You're never going to please them both. You could have a 5-star match in one person's view and a 2-star match in the other person because the other guy didn't go over. Or the other girl. Doesn't matter. You know, I think Wicked's right. I think fans looking at from the outside in want to see a combination of Ring of Honor with the Attitude Era. But I hate the whole, let's do four or five finishers and then finish with the small package, because that makes no sense to me or money, in my opinion.
There you go.
And that's why Ring of Honor still isn't on full stream pay-per-view. Not to put them down, but that's why their product's not up there. They need, legit psychology. Don't care what any of them tell you, they don't provide psychology. They just don't. And it's a lost art. I mean, you see it in the indies, you see it rarely in mainstream product. You do see it in NXT. NXT still brings it, so maybe there's hope out there. Who knows? But, is our expectation too high? Man, it's a tough call. I mean, the expectation was presented at a high standard as recent as 1998, 1999. And when WrestleMania 20 rolled around and they started their next upswing and Cena got big, and, we had some real solid matches with a lot of different guys and a lot of top stars. But the more companies that fall down, the harder it is for the business to get picked back up.
As someone who is 49 years of age...
God, you're old.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
People in my age bracket are spoiled. Because...
Or bitter.
No, not in the least. I'm really not bitter. The way that I look at things... As I said on the Secret Origins episode of the To Be Determined show, I was watching quote-unquote indie before it was cool. But by the same token, I was watching the territories. Due to the simple fact that I was watching NWA Chattanooga, which of course was running in five to six different cities up in western Tennessee. Then I picked up on Birmingham, which was also part of the Florida Panhandle for the Fuller Golden Welch family. Then I picked up on Georgia Championship Wrestling, which they were running all through the state of Georgia. Atlanta, Macon, Gainesville, you name it. Then I picked up on the World Wrestling Federation, which was running primarily in the Northeast. Then I was also picking up on shows that were running around my area, not just in Boutwell Auditorium. Because believe it or not, Mike Jackson was actually running spot shows, indie shows, outlaw shows around Birmingham during that time. Thank you to being a teacher at Catherwood. He actually did one at Bernie Points Baptist while I was seeing a girl who went there.
Did you say Catherwood?
Cather.
Man, that sounds awkward.
There you go. Nice. So, being in that age bracket, with my personal experience, hell yes, I'm spoiled. Because I have seen the best of what a promotion in my hometown can give me, as well as the best of what a promotion regional on television can do and on national cable television can do. The business does have its ups and downs. That's what I get for switching back to water there, kids. But the thing about it is, for as rambunctious and adventurous as the world of professional wrestling is, and yes, I'm going to go play on the psychology card for a hot second, because I believe, I should break into the Larry the Cable Guy here, I believe the DDT is a finisher no matter who the hell you are.
And all the people said amen.
I believe that there are some moves that should never be broken finishers.
What does that mean?
I don't believe the degree of difficulty. The 450 should never be kicked out of.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
The DDT should never be kicked out of.
Yep.
The Doomsday Device should never be kicked out of.
Amen.
The Heart Attack should never be kicked out of.
Heart attack or heart punch?
Heart Attack.
Okay, just check.
The Heart Punch should never be gotten up from for at least 30 minutes.
Sorry,
after the
that's
match.
a stupid looking move. I don't see how anybody falls for it.
Dude, you never really did watch Ox Baker, did you? God rest his soul.
True. But, you know, I saw Mean Mark Calloway deliver it, and I used to think, what a wuss. Then I saw The Undertaker, and I said, hey, wait a minute.
No, then I watched Ox Baker before him. And I'm sorry, I don't care who says what. Ox Baker was a badass. And I know I used that word ad nauseum the other night on this station and on this network. But
were you talking about me again? I appreciate that, buddy.
Not a problem, my brother. But the fact of the matter is, the art of psychology, which is something I'm going to bring up next week on Back to Basics. But we're going to put a little teaser out there because we're 10 minutes before the top of the hour, and I'm about to take it to last call here on Back to Basics. The genuine art of psychology in professional wrestling has become, in my opinion, and I'll explain why next week, has become so diluted that it puts a huge, no relation to the Riddler or Simon Says, question mark over a number of things that take place in professional wrestling. Like I said, that's going to be your hinge point for next week. That'll be the 3-2 pitch. Talking about the genuine art of psychology in pro wrestling. But for right now, I'm going to go ahead and say, Wicked Nemesis. You can add shameless plugs in there if you want to. Last call.
Tomorrow night, the To Be Determined Show live Beyond Ringside Radio Network, beyondringside.com, live 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. The Wicked Nemesis, The Merchants of Death, Unlucky Charms, The Sevenfold Saints, and the To Be Determined Show all have Facebook fan pages. Give us a like and a share if you want to. If not, thank you for even thinking about it. Also, Wicked Nemesis Enoch on YouTube, at Wicked Nemesis on Twitter. Give me a follow. Angie?
I'm glad you're here tonight to do all your stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
At Angie _Nemesis on Twitter.
Yes.
Yeah, if you saw the BR Live episode from Sunday that I put up on YouTube and part of Daily Motion, you'll see that I included it in there.
Oh. Good. I was hoping that you were going to post it soon so he could hear.
Have I not posted everything yet?
You always do, Eddie. I just hadn't had time to.
Then I'll do it in the morning.
Yes, sir.
No, I didn't think I'd actually posted it because I know I've been so busy working on post-production for everything and trying to get stuff up and loaded. It's not even funny. Do you have a last call you want to throw out there?
If you come at me, and especially if you come at Wicked Nemesis, be prepared. Jesus Christ, be prepared. That's all I have to say.
And before we go any further, I know that y'all made a reference to it on Tuesday about somebody special being home, but go ahead and say it one more time.
Yes. Continued love, prayers, and well wishes to my sister Jennifer, who is now recovering at home. Thank you, Eddie, for remembering, as always.
Not a problem. And Jennifer, I will say it like this, and I mean this in a non-sexually harassing or totally creepy way. You're in my thoughts. You're in my prayers. My very best go out in your way. I want to see a full recovery. And I'd heard a wild rumor that you may try to make it Saturday to Pell City. If you can, I look forward to seeing you there. Stan Grubb, last call.
Oh, wow. That's last call. Gosh. I was so unprepared. I want to thank the Academy for my nomination. And that's a tired joke. Sorry. Okay, Sunday night, of course, you've got the Elimination Chamber $9.99 per view. I kind of like that statement, by the way.
Thank you.
So you can expect a post-pay-per-view show. I've got, I know I'll be on. I don't know if Corey's going to watch. Depends on if his internet is up or if he doesn't have a microphone stuck up his nose or whatever. Anyway, I will be on. I'll be happy to talk to everybody about the pay-per-view. I'm sure Eddie will be hanging out. And let's see, that'll be probably right around 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yep.
Maybe even a little bit sooner, depending on when it ends.
And go and throw the shameless plugs out there.
Oh, gosh. At Stan Grubb on Twitter. Stan Grubb on Facebook. It's really kind of a boring thing, but okay, thanks for the... Oh, yeah, the Wrestle Rage Radio on Facebook. Corey would kill me if I didn't plug that.
And at Wrestle Rage BR over on Twitter as well.
Right, because everything we say is not already seen.
There you go. Let me go and lay this out there like this on a short last call. You've heard so many different perspectives, so many different visions, and so many different experience levels over the last 3 hours here on the Beyond Ringside family of shows, Beyond Ringside Radio Network, the app, and everything else. This is what makes professional wrestling so special to me. It always has been, it always will be. Because you have so many different facets to a diamond, but they all come together to make that diamond. Case point scenario, the 12-man cage match Saturday night, May 30th, Pell City, under the banner of Global Championship Wrestling. Francisco Chiazzo, Simon Says, Mike Cruz, Mr. O'Hagan, Mad Dog Dan Sawyer, Micah Taylor, AJ Steele, Spiral, Clyde Braddock, Steven Styles, Leon the Bull Stresser, Dylan Cook, Theodore Tutwiler III, The Cause, Wicked Nemesis, Pandora. Every facet of this match makes up the diamond that will be this match. And from my heart, I say it like this: that match will be, just like a flawless diamond, priceless. For our friends in the southeastern U.S., don't miss this. Make the trip to Pell City. I don't care if you're in West Georgia. I don't care if you're in eastern Mississippi. I don't care if you're in northwest Florida or southern Tennessee. You can be in South Carolina. You can make this drive. And from all points inside our my home state of Alabama, you damn well better be ready for a war. Come ready to have your mind blown. Because this cage match will not be a wrestling match. And to say it's going to be a war is going to be an understatement. Pell City Civic Center, this Saturday night for Global. Trust me, the stars will shine. Keep your eyes open on BeyondRingside.com, at Beyond Ringside on Twitter, Facebook.com/Beyond Ringside Live. We're also on MySpace, LinkedIn, Google+, on the live side, beyondringside.com, the Beyond Ringside Radio app for Android, Amazon, and BlackBerry, Shoutcast, Winamp, Ustream, and of course, beyondringside.com. I may have said it a second ago, but of course, it always bears repeating.
I thought you were going to finish it with Ustream, iStream. We all stream for
iStream,
something. Yeah, right. Oh, well.
And on the replay side for Beyond Ringside branded products.
Hey, Nabo's not on, man. I got to throw the treat jokes out there somehow.
Hey, that works, dude. On the replay side for Beyond Ringside branded products, YouTube, Daily Motion, iTunes, Pod-O-Matic, Spreaker, Stitcher, and iHeartRadio. And of course, the media page at beyondringside.com. For me personally, at Fast Eddie Layne on Twitter and Instagram, Facebook.com/FastEddieLayne, and my home on the web is FastEddieLayne, LAYNE.com. For the earlier part of the show, GCWPro.com is the home for Global Championship Wrestling. At GCW Pro Wrestling on Twitter and on Instagram. Facebook.com/GCW Pro Wrestling is the Facebook fan page. For everybody who wants to send a friend request over to the GCW Facebook friends page, if you're a pro wrestler looking for bookings, I'm not going to approve the friend request. End of discussion. Like the fan page, send a message through there. Because if you turn around and say something about me sending you an invite for an upcoming live event, well, I'm not going to click don't invite me unless I've been booked to work. Get the hell off the page.
Yeah.
And that's me being nice about it. Because if I'd have let Wick take the kid gloves off, you wouldn't have liked what was said. And if you'd have let me take the kid gloves off, you'd be curled up in a fetal position sucking on a bottle of V8.
V8?
You got that right. You need your veggies.
Alrighty.
You need your veggies. Plain and simple. Let's take it home. Don't forget, here's your rundown. This Wednesday, May 27th, the To Be Determined show with the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis, Angie Travis, Clyde Braddock, and yours truly returns at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thursday night, 9 p.m. Yeah, 9 p.m. Central Time. The show with Ted Guinness. When SmackDown goes off the air on the East Coast feed, Ted Guinness goes live. All things WWE and then some. And this coming Sunday, May 31st, Beyond Ringside Live, 5:30 p.m. Central. Wrestle Rage Radio will be airing live immediately following the Elimination Chamber $9.99 preview. And while it's on, we'll have the brand new edition of the Midnight Black Mass with the Reverend Dan Wilson and Andrew Alexander. I said it slow, that way everybody can get it right the first time. Let's take this sucker home from the start to finish from 8 p.m. Central to right now. For Mad Dog Dan Sawyer. For the Cause, Robert Cosper. For the King of Florida, Francisco Chiazzo. Coming over to this side. For the GCW Heavyweight Champion, AJ Steele. For the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis.
Tomorrow night, live education waiting to happen.
For Angie Travis.
Good night, folks.
For special guest, Stan Grubb.
Thanks for having me and letting me hang out and be sucked back into the madness.
This is the Magic City Motor Mouth, Fast Eddie Layne. Better yet, I am the Magic City Motor Mouth, Fast Eddie Layne. Screw this third-person crap. Until next time, adios, das vidania, hasta luego, auf Wiedersehen, ciao, sayonara, adieu, arrivederci, farewell, abbasigna, au revoir, and until we meet again, aloha means bye-bye, and until next time, join us right here as we all go beyond ringside, and you're damn right, sometimes you just gotta take it. Back to basics. See you soon.
Hey, don't be maybe, be a definite. Forever forward, Sevenfold Saints.